This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin the Gas podcast. I know you guys see me all the time, right? But listen, this podcast is sponsored by Bison. Are you a track day junkie, or a road racer, or just a street guy that's looking to get a leather suit? Don't buy an off-the-rack suit. Look no further than Bison. You can get a full custom suit, any color, any designs you want. You can also get gloves to match, a chest protector, your undersuit. It's a one-stop shop. They are simply the most amazing people you're going to meet on this planet. Robert and Tasha Lackey from Bison. So what are you waiting on? Let's go join the herd. I joined the herd, and you can use this discount code Pin the Gas 2024 and receive all 10% off all your Bison clothes, which is proper mega, as all my mates over there in the UK, like my mate Keo right here, right. So yes, listen, Keo Walker, RD Racing, BSB GP2 class. Welcome, mate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Bro, it's an absolute honor to have you on the podcast. I know we don't have long because it's late over there. So listen, let's just jump right into it. Keo, I want to take it from the very beginning, when you first got your very first motorcycle.
So when I was about 7, I started off on mini motos. My dad took me to go to a go-kart track to go and try a mini moto to test ride it, and then we ended up getting a bike for a year. And then I was on a Pliny 110 for a year, or Pliny 50 for a year, and then after that we kind of just started racing from there and just kept buying bikes and just kept going, and then got faster, started finally getting podiums on the bikes, and then ended up in my second last year. I got second in the junior and the lightweight category, and then my last year I won the junior and the lightweight category just before I went to go move up to big bikes. I'd done mini motos since I was 7 till I was 12, and I pretty much just went through all the ranks pretty much.
And then you found your way onto R&D racing, right? But we'll get into that. So I want to take it back. Did you always know you was going to be a legend?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, Keo. Yes, that's what I was waiting for. Yes, absolutely. I knew I was going to be a legend. So motorcycles, is that something that you loved as a little kid, and that's something you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I always wanted to ride bikes, and then my dad used to race bikes, and then he stopped for a few years when I was born, and then he kind of started back up when I got older. After I'd been racing for a while, and he started racing again, and then he's pretty much just got me into it since then.
So who's faster, you or your dad?
I'm faster now.
You probably always were faster when you was like 8 or 9. You was probably faster, right? Yeah, I love it, dude. Let's go. And look, we got another legend in the house, and you guys are well know who this guy is. It's my mate Jake Marsh, baby. What is up, Keo the legend? That's right. And then we got Lorraine Walker, a great way to start racing and become a legend. Absolutely, Lorraine, you hit it right on the head. Keo's an absolute. And listen, we got RD in the house. Keo has been mega from when we met at Bimmies. I didn't want to mess that up because I did it yesterday in the Team Green Cup. Yeah, it's awesome, man. So starting racing, getting into mini moto, winning, right? And then moving up, right? So how did you meet Jake Marsh, right? And how did the whole R&D thing come together?
Pretty much after I stopped my motos, we went to go move up, but then the 125s were kind of, everyone was stopping to ride them because they were kind of going out of fashion really, and everyone stopped riding them. So then we heard about a 300 class at BMC. That was the only place I was going to be able to ride at 12. So we went down there. I done my race license at Brands Hatch for my first ever big bike track, and then I pretty much just loved it from there. And then I was in BMC, and then I was in the the junior teens 300 class, which is just under is like 12-year-olds, and the bikes were just restricted to 28 horsepower, which it felt fast then, but now it's not a lot at all.
Those bikes they're meant for one thing, to teach you corner speed.
Yeah.
Because they have no power to get out its own way. So it's all that race line, the corner speed, trail braking, all that good. Proper way to ride. That's what I tell everybody. It's people that are starting in motorcycles, even if you have 6 years experience, I tell everybody, man, buy 300 or 400 and take it to the track. And they're like, oh man, 300, I'm too fast for that. I'll that 400. And I'm like, all right, hold up, Mr. Valentino Rossi. If you're so fast already, right? I could take you down to the track and put you up with my man, the lap slayer, AV Dreyer, right? He just won the 2023, or Finn, right? Or even you guys, and we'll see how fast you are on his 400 or 300. I always tell people that, you got to put your ego to the side when it comes to smaller bikes.
Yeah, it was an amazing bike to ride, and then I started getting faster quite quickly, and then I think I got my elbow down on the big bike for the first time on like my third ever race weekend on a big bike.
So tell me about that, right? Because I said this on Jake's. Every time I get my elbow down, it's followed by my shoulder or my back. And I'm like, well, there goes my bike, right? So I haven't properly ever drugged my elbow. Knees, yeah, no problem. But that's a thing of the past now, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're just getting into motorcycles. And of course, that's what you want to do. But now everybody wants to drag their elbow.
Yeah.
So what was it like the first time you touched down on the elbow?
So me and my friends Lennon, and I'd done many motors with him, and we used to just muck about trying to get our elbow down in the mini motors all the time. Like when we got faster, obviously we would just muck about. And then I think I was at Donington, and then I was like racing against people on faster bikes because I was restricted. So then it kind of forced me to keep go much faster through the corners. And then one of the times I didn't actually realise how much it was hanging off, and my elbow kind of just dropped and it touched the floor. And I was kind of actually really surprised that I actually got my elbow down. And then I came in and told my dad, and he didn't believe me. He was thinking I was just scraping it on a wall, running about the paddock scraping it on a wall. And then some guy came over and said to my dad, "I've got a video of your lad getting his elbow down." And then he finally believed me. And then a few weeks later, there was a photo that came in with my orange bib on of me getting my elbow down.
And you still have that photo, right?
Yeah.
Framed on your wall?
I think I have it framed somewhere.
I love it, man. So is it, when you drag your knees, you always hear that
Yeah.
Same thing with your elbow?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's just exactly the same.
Proper mega. I couldn't imagine what it feels like, man. See, one day I will, right? And hopefully I'm
it feels amazing when you get your elbow down.
I bet, dude. Yeah. I love it. So you meet Jake. You're a proper fast kid coming up, right? Through the ranks quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then so how did this whole RD thing come together?
I didn't actually meet Jake until Jake went to BMC as well, but I didn't really talk to them because I didn't know Jake then. I only really started to speak to Jake when I at the end of BMC and when I moved up to British. So I was in BMC for 3 years. 2 or 3 years, yeah. I think it was maybe 2 years. So I was on the 300, and then after that I moved up to a 400. And then I was just pretty much trying to get faster and just work my way up. And then Jake and that obviously were doing it, and then Jake was on a 400 for a bit, and then obviously he moved up to a 600. And we kind of thought, we seen quite a few people move into British on the 400, so we kind of thought we might as well give it a try. And then pretty much just started from there, and then we went to our first British round, and it was probably just great to just even be at the British.
Facts, man. It's and it's a lot different coming from club level racing to BSB level, right? The times are different.
Yeah,
Like you're on a proper schedule, right?
yeah.
I'm sure that did that take anything to did that take a little while to get used to, or did you guys?
Everything, it's kind of everything's got its like place to be, so everything gets put in a certain place. And then at the club racing, you kind of just like do whatever you want. But when you go to the British, it's obviously a lot stricter, and you kind of get told where to go and what times you've got to be there, and all your certain stuff you need to do at certain times.
Yep. That's right. You can only change. You can only get you. Well, here in Moto America, whatever class you're in, you have a certain schedule to take your tires to get them changed, right? Stuff like that. Is that the same over there in BSB?
Tires isn't tires isn't like that. We could just go and get tires whenever we want, but we've got schedules for getting the bikes like scrutineered and checked before we go racing. So we've got a time slot for our bikes to get scrutineered. And that's about it. We've also we get tire stickers and everything as well, just to restrict the amount of tires we use, obviously, to make it more fair.
Yep. No, and Moto America, we get the stickers too that we put on our demos because that's what we run, and then the Moto America guys will come by and scan the stickers and make sure match it up to the sheet and all that stuff that goes along with it. So yeah, it's yeah. So was you getting into BSB your first year? Was you nervous at all? Like knowing like, oh my God, I'm on I'm on the scene, right?
At first, I was a bit nervous because I've never sat on the grid before. Because at club racing, you obviously just go on the grid by yourself and you just go off and do your warm up laps and everything. But at British, you actually stop. Even in that class, you didn't stop for very long, but you still stopped in the grid, and it was just a total different experience, really. But it was amazing.
Absolutely proper amazing, right? Yeah, I couldn't imagine, man. I know when I was there at Cadwell Park, it was an absolute dream to be there, and then get to actually be on the grid with the superbike guys was just mind blown, right? It was, yeah, I couldn't imagine lining up on the grid for your first time, seeing everybody. But you know what, Keo, is you belong there. You belong here, so, and you're a legend. We know that. Yeah, we already established that. And look, Lorraine said, how many orange bibs ever get their elbow down? Right. And then Peter says Keo's dad, Clint Walker, is the main reason why I'm so skint. It's his fault we ended up at BSB. Well, good job, Clint. Yay, let's go. That's awesome, man. And so I assume your team's a pretty much father and son team too, like your dad's there at the races with you all the time.
Yeah, it's pretty much, our team was like pretty much just a family team. When I was in junior super sport, it was just me, my dad, my mum, my brother, and then it was pretty much just us four trying to race at the British, really.
Yeah. And so how old's your brother?
My brother is 23.
Oh, nice. So he's older than you are.
Yeah, quite a bit older.
So I already know the answer to this, but I'll go ahead and ask it anyway. Are you faster than your brother?
Yeah, my brother used to race mini motos and some supermoto stuff when we were younger, but he kind of stopped that. He wasn't really interested in that. He was interested in more like car stuff and everything.
Yeah,
and I kind of just stuck to the bikes because I had nothing really else to do.
Well, I mean, for me personally, when I try to tell people my love and passion for bikes started at such a young age, like I didn't realize it, right? I was just 3 and 4 years old. People would go look for me, and I'm out there next to the motorcycle trying to climb on it. And that's where it all started for me. And my dad used to take me riding and stuff. But it's from that day forward, they've been nothing but everything in my life, really. I mean, that's all I've ever been into. Of course, growing up, you'd play other sports like soccer and basketball and all that. But when it come time to ride, I wasn't interested in go-karts. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I'll ride your go-kart. Let's go have fun. And the whole time I was like, I'd rather be on 2 wheels than the go-kart, right? Don't get me wrong, they're fun, but it's just it's you're either in the cars or in the bikes, one or the other. That's kind of what I take from it. People that I talk to anyway. Yeah. So being in BSB, man, let's talk about 2023. How'd your season go?
So 2023 was quite a tough year. because I had a couple crashes at the start of the year, and then we had a couple I had a good qualifying in the wet at Donington before it got resurfaced, and then I ended up third my first time on it, on the front row, and it was just amazing because I had a few crashes in the wet, and then I finally started to find my feet again, and then I started getting quite fast in the wet, and then I just started kind of working my way further up the grid, and then just trying to get decent finishes.
Yeah, it's better to start not slow, but not feel like I got to be at the front right now. I got to be at the front right now, right? You need to find your own, come into your own skin. And the most important thing is, like I tell everybody, you got to have what? You got to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, then what's the point? And a happy rider is a fast rider. Fast, 110%. It is. And so Lorraine, let's see. We got Lorraine says he does belong there for sure. Absolutely, he does. And then she also says, "Hey, we're all skint, LOL." It's awesome. I love it. I love it. So, your first season, Donington. What was your best race that year?
My first season in BSB. I think that's where my best time at Donington for my first year in British was. That my first year I got on the front row of the grid in the wet after I'd had a few crashes in the wet, because I just had a few bad luck. I just pretty much had quite bad luck then. And then I finally got on the front row of the grid, and then I started to just work my way up from there. And then I just got faster as I go, pretty much.
Right. And look, we got Chloe Jones in the house. What is up, Chloe? And my man Simon Boldani. Simone, he's a good mate of mine. He's out there in Australia, and he races too. He's an absolute legend. But yeah, it's awesome to have everybody watching. This is good stuff. So, and then my buddy Aaron from California said, "Let's go." Do you see the comments up on your screen?
Yeah, I could see them. Yeah.
All right. Good. So, what's your favorite track, Keo?
I don't actually know. I've got quite a few. I've got a few favorite tracks. Probably, Knock Hill. Obviously, I've always loved Knock Hill. It's just been a track that I always wanted to ride on a big bike. And probably Donington. I've always liked Donington, and I've always done quite well at Donington.
Yeah, I like Donington. I like the way Donington flows. It's got a good flow to it.
Yeah.
It really does. Knock Hill. I've never been to Knock Hill. Seen it on TV. The only place I've been out there is Cadwell Park, and you already know, Keo. That's my favorite track in the world is Cadwell Park. It's so. Let me ask you this: would you ever consider doing the TT or the Northwest 200 or Oliver's Mount or anything like that?
Yeah, I've always wanted to kind of do like road racing as well. I don't know if my mum and dad would be too keen about it, but
I already know what my mom would say, and I'm pretty sure I already know what your mom would say. No, absolutely not. But man, to me, everybody knows too, the TT is my favorite. It's the most beautiful thing you're ever gonna see in your life, right? It's look, she said, no, I knew it, right? My mom would say the same thing. My wife would say the same thing too. But yeah, it's always something that have you ever been to the TT?
No, I've been over to the Isle of Man before picking up my first 300 actually. I bought over in the Isle of Man, and then we just went around the whole island, me and my dad. We've been planning to go to the northwest of the TT, but we've just been so busy with the racing. Yeah. It's just constant all the time.
That's right. And are you still in school?
No, that's me just finished my exams now. That's me leaving school to go to college.
What are you going to do in college?
I'm meant to be doing mechanical engineering.
Nice. So 2023, the whole season. How would you rate your season?
2023 would probably be like out of 10. They'd be like a 4 or 5. It wasn't my best season. It was just like a learning season, pretty much. So
Right,
it
but
was
you
pretty much,
got on the front row. I mean, come on, man. You got to go a little further than
yeah,
that. I'd say a 7, 8. I mean, let's just be honest, right? It'd be everybody's dream to show up the first time and be on the front row. And I couldn't imagine what you felt. You was like, yes, let's go, right? Yeah. So
yeah.
let's move forward to 2024.
So
What's going on?
2023.
What's going on in
How
24?
we got into it? We were meant to be. I was at. I got asked to ride a bike last year, an R7 at the Scottish, from one of my sponsors, GSG Performance. They built an R7, and then they asked me if I would ride it for them, a brand new one. And then as soon as I jumped on it, I was instantly fast in it, and I ended up winning on it. As soon as I jumped on it, it was amazing bike to ride, to learn. It was just amazing to just jump on new bikes and just learn them and eventually get fast in them. And then we eventually bought it off them, and then I done a few more races and then won more stuff at the Scottish. And then we were planning to use that R7 for the British, but then they never brought out the rules for it like fast enough. So we decided, and then Pete obviously offered us a ride to ride Jake's old bike, and then my dad asked me if I'd rather go back to club racing or race the R7 or go on GP2. So I just decided to go on GP2. I just wanted to get on a bigger bike because I was.
Uh-oh. His internet cut out.
Wait.
All right. I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, it's fine. The connection's back.
Yeah. So what was you saying now? The GP2?
Yeah, so I got into the GP2, and then Jake offered me to ride for his team pretty much. Pete offered my dad, and then we agreed to it. And then we ended up joining the team, and then it pretty much just started from there. And then instead of, we would normally go to Spain to go and test on 600s, like what I'd done the year before that. But this winter and like the start of this year, we've seen a couple superbike riders. There's a superbike rider, Lewis Rollo, that we speak to, and he says to us about just riding here instead, because it would save you so much more money on tires and everything, having to just chuck tires out in Spain. So we decided to ride here at the tracks that I'll be riding at, doing track days, and then me and Jake decided to go and do that. So we had done 4 different track days. We were at Cadwell, Mallory, I think we done Alton Park, and I think that was maybe it. I don't remember if there's another one.
Nice. And dude, I love the colors of your new bike. The yellow and the red, man, it's absolutely amazing. The whole RD, the whole colors, I love it. It's absolutely awesome. Looks good. And then Peter says, Simcoe, the Walker family are amazing. They take the lad and dad racing to another level. A family of 4 of the nicest people you will meet. Keo has the most amazing support from Clint, Debs, and Ty. Honest, what a mega family. Absolutely. I agree, Peter. And I haven't had the honor to meet. Was you at Cadwell Park last August when I was there?
No, I don't think so. Was that when the British was there?
Mm-hmm.
No, well, last year the 400s they didn't do Cadwell. That's one of the only tracks they didn't do. So this year's going to be my first time racing at Cadwell in 2 years.
Love it, man. So I ask everybody that's raced there, bro. The mountain jump. Tell me about it. How awesome is it?
Oh, it's amazing. I've never had like a full proper chance to go off it fully because when we were there testing, it was pouring with rain when me and Jake were there. But it was still amazing to get back at Cadwell.
It is. Cadwell's absolutely a mega. And then my buddy took me by Brands Hatch, so I seen the track. I've never seen racing there, but so when I come out there next year, I want to do 2 rounds. Of course, either the round before Cadwell or the round after, whichever is closer together. Yeah, so I'll get a chance to finally meet you and Jake and Peter and everybody.
Yeah.
It's going to be a proper mega time. I hope you guys are ready for me. I don't know if you guys are because I'm wide open, right? Yes, let's go. Yeah, baby, it's going to be awesome. So you ended up on R&D with Jake and the GP2 class. Was it a big jump? Obviously, coming from a 400 to the 675, but did you find it difficult at all to make the transition?
It wasn't as big a jump because I'd been out testing in Spain on a 600 the year before at Cartagena, and then I jumped in that R7, which had quite a lot of power in it. But it definitely was a learning curve to just jump on a bike like that. But it was amazing. It was just amazing to get on a faster bike and actually get to ride it for the year for like the next 2 years.
Yeah, something you get to know it inside out, right? It's good. That's good, man. And the 675 is a beautiful motorcycle. The engine's sweet. My buddy he had the 675. I haven't rode a 765, but man, I love the GP2 class. And everybody asks me out here, what's the difference between GP2 class and the super sport class? And then, of course, I got to tell them, right? But from my understanding, they're getting away from the GP2 class.
I think so because the last few years there's been a lot less people interested in it. So they're it hasn't been confirmed yet, but the class could possibly be getting. They could be possibly getting rid of the GP2 class and just running just the full super sport class.
Yeah. What about the baggers? Would you ever race a bagger like we do here in America?
A bagger?
Yeah, I bet like the Harley Davidsons and the Indians. Yeah. We call them baggers, right? Because they got the saddlebags on them.
Yeah.
You know, us Americans again.
Yeah. I actually would have wanted a shot with them. I see them on Instagram all the time. They actually look quite fun.
Oh man, they're running super sport times.
Are they?
Yes.
They look fast, like properly fast when I watched them.
And they're full blown super bikes. I mean, there's no expense spared. It's absolute. Dude, they got Olin suspension, Brembo front brake. It's absolutely crazy. It is. Their swing arm alone on some of those, I'm sure is probably every bit of 30, 40 grand. I mean, it's a high class, but it's honestly in our over here, it's our only really factory team that we have is the Harley Davidson in the Indian class. And from my understanding, you guys are supposed to be getting some bagger class racing too in the future, which would be awesome. Could you imagine a bagger coming at Cadwell Park?
I know.
Taking that jump, right? Yeah, that'd be insane. And they're loud. Oh my God. And they sound so good. But yes, dude, this is awesome. And obviously, dude, the TT's going on, Keo, right? So have you been watching it?
I've not actually watched it yet. I've been planning to watch it when it's on. I watched a bit of the Northwest stuff, and then I'm definitely going to watch some of the TT anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was listening to the TT at work today. In the Northwest, we just had my man Davey Todd got taken out on the first lap.
Yeah,
yeah, and then Glenn Irvin, right? He got the triple. Yeah, I mean, right. And then, dude, what a racing season it's been in BSB, right? Do you particularly have any favorite BSB rider?
When we're actually at the BSB, we don't actually watch much of the actual superbike races. When you first join BSB, you think it's going to be amazing because you just get to watch the superbikes for free. But then after being in it for a year, you kind of just forget it's even on. Sometimes you would go and watch it. Me and my friends, we would go and have a look at them, but we wouldn't actually go out of our way to go and watch them sometimes because you're so used to just being there and being around them all the time. It's just normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't watch when I go to Moto America. I watch the races. I mean, I got a lot of friends that race in Moto America, but I'm too busy in the paddock doing this, flapping my gums, what I'm doing right now, right? Because I can always watch the race after, right?
Yeah,
And I'm there, so I hear it and I see it on the teleprompter, and
yeah.
my friends out there be like, "Woo, let's go!" Just stop in the middle, and people are looking at me like, "Who is this guy over here? Who's this crazy guy?"
If I was to choose anyone, I would choose Glenn Irwin.
Glenn's a beast. Glenn, man,
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. All you guys are my favorite. All my friends that no, seriously, all my friends that race, you guys are my favorites. Now, when Valentino Rossi was racing, yeah, he was absolutely my hands down the GOAT, the greatest of all time. But after he retired, man, I found myself in a different position, right? I didn't really have a favorite. And then as I started doing the podcast and becoming friends with people that race,
Yeah.
you guys are absolutely, because I'd rather give you the 50 pounds for a shirt or your club than buy Mark Marquez or whatever, right?
Yeah.
What about the TT? I got to ask you this. Who's your favorite racer at the TT?
Probably Michael Dunlop.
Mickey D. Do you think he can get those two races to beat his uncle this year?
Yeah, I think he will.
I think he will too. I know he's battling a wrist injury. So hopefully that won't hold him back. I don't. And then Peter Hickman too, right? You can't forget about Peter. Hickey's a beast, man. Absolutely a beast. Man, this is awesome. Keo, dude. So how excited are you about the 2024 season, man?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I love it every time I ride the bike.
And for the Americans out here, I know when the next race is, but tell everybody what the next round is.
The next round's my home track at Knockhill in 3 weeks.
I love it. And for you guys, I always say it, Bennett'sBritishSuperbikes.com. You can watch it for free. If you can't watch the live video, they have something down there at the bottom. It's called TSL Timing. You click on that, listen to the commentary, and it's a live commentary through all the classes, which I love, right? Because I just throw my earbuds in and listen to it and screaming. They're like, "What do you keep screaming for?" I was like, "Dude, my mate right here, check it out." And they're like, "We don't give a shit." Right? And I'm like, "Well, I do. Let's go." Yeah, it's awesome, man. Good stuff. So let me ask you this. Would you ever thought about coming to America and races in Moto America?
I've always wanted to come to America and race over there anyway. The tracks just look amazing, some of them.
Dude, we do. We have really good tracks. They're actually a lot like your guys' tracks out there, except for Cadwell Park, right? Because that's the only oddball track, I'll say, out of the UK. It's best track in the world. I say it all the time, but yes. So listen, for everybody that's listening, Bemise, tell everybody what Bemise is.
Denise.
Sorry, I'm trying to the word. I'm trying to. I can't pronounce words very good sometimes, Keo. I can't, man. I try. That's like sometimes when people come on here, I was Bemise. That's it. Thanks, Peter. It's difficult.
Oh, Bemsey.
Yeah, Bimsey. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, Bimsey. Sorry. So, is Bimsey's a racetrack, an organization?
It's pretty much just a club that goes through different tracks and then just has different championships. It's just like just normal club racing. That's one of the main clubs that we started racing down south with. That and No Limits, but Bemsey was probably the main one.
No Limits. So let me ask you, how do you train? What kind of training do you do to prepare yourself for the race weekend coming up? I'm sure you train all year long, or
Yeah, I pretty much just do a bit of everything. And I'm sponsored by a local gym, so I would go to Arena Gym and I would go out running and on the push bike and everything, go out cycling in the woods, and pretty much just a bit of everything.
riding wheelies on XR 100s?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I have an XR1. I CRF 100, same thing as the XR 100, same bike. Dude, this is awesome, man. Listen, I don't want to keep you long. We're almost 40 minutes in this. I told you it would fly by. So listen, guys. We have so much more to talk about. It is almost 11 o'clock his time. But before we get off here, I do have a couple more questions that I want to ask you, personal questions. So you guys stay tuned for part 2 of Keo because it'll be pretty soon. But yeah. Let me ask you, Keo, what is your favorite music?
Probably techno or D&B.
What is D&B?
Drum and bass.
Okay, drum and bass. Okay.
Yeah.
So you like all that boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah. So do you have like a big speakers with all that bass? Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got DJ decks and everything.
Awesome, man. So let me ask you this, Keo. What is your worst habit?
Probably. I actually know. Not listening to stuff that mum and dad tell me normally to do around the house. I just always forget and just don't end up doing it.
You sound just like my son. Just like my son. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. So let me ask you this. Biting his nails. I mean, yeah. Well, when I get nervous, I do that too as well. Tell us something we don't know about you. Besides you're a legend. We know that, right? But tell us something else we don't know about you.
I don't actually really know. I can't really think of anything.
Okay. We'll come back to that question.
Yeah.
Or we'll save that one. Let me start right here because we'll save that one for the next time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let me ask you this. If you can invite 3 people in the world to any track day, what 3 people are you going to invite? And they could be anybody. Anybody. It could be Valentino Rossi, John McGuinness, whoever.
Probably Mark Marquez, Pedro Acosta,
Baby Jesus, let's go.
Danny Pedrosa.
Danny, dude, the samurai, right, dude? Listen, every time Danny shows up to a MotoGP race and just absolutely kills all the other KTM and gas riders, I was like, bro, you're making them look bad. Slow down, Danny, slow down, right? That's awesome. Listen, Peter Marsh has got one, dude. He says, what's your dad's favorite song, Keo?
I don't actually know what my dad's favorite song is. He kind of listens to just a bit of everything. Sometimes he'd be listening to like techno music, and then sometimes he'd be listening to like some random music. I don't even know.
That's awesome. Lorraine says you can talk to anyone, so you sound a lot like me. Like I can talk to anybody, strangers, and you guys already know. One of my favorite sayings is none of us are strangers. We're just friends that haven't met yet. Yeah, for real. That's honest to God. He says 500 miles.
Yeah, that's the song that they always play at the racing.
There it is. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. So do you listen to any audiobooks or read?
We listen to some podcasts, Chasing the Racing.
We all love Chasing the Racing.
Yeah,
right?
that's probably the only one I really listen to.
Nice.
Yeah, just that is. I normally listen to pretty much almost all of them. They're just amazing to listen to.
Yeah, they are. They are. I listen to Chasing the Racing. Of course, my mate Dave Neal from Off Track Podcast. You guys see the shirt right here. Doot. I can't point my thumb. There it is. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so I listen to his Moto PG. My mates out there in Australia, they got a good one. But other than that, I don't the race MotoGP sometimes. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of them, but Chasing the Racing's absolutely him and Off Track. My mate Dave Neal is absolutely my 2 favorite, besides my own. Right, is absolutely my favorite podcast to listen to for sure. So as far as books go, Keo, I'm actually listening to man, I talk about time and I forget the name of it. It's by Stuart Baker. It is called The Ragged Edge. Yep, it's all about the TT. Listen, it's a highly recommended book. You guys need to check it out. And I always listen to it in audio format because if I read a book, I end up falling asleep. But I do. Yes, John Hopkins, dude, is the best audiobook. I tell everybody that, dude. I highly recommend John Hopkins, called Leather Keo. You need to get it. You need to put the earbuds in or your headset on and listen to it. He holds nothing back. I mean, he's talking about smoking weed and riding a MotoGP bike right after he does it, right? Like who does that, dude? And that's what I love about John Hopkins. He talks about his addiction to alcohol, the whole nine, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that comes with, I guess, high celebrity, but he tells the whole story, and it's such a great story. And John Hopkins is an absolute legend, man. The Hopper, right? But you guys know who Andy Ibbott is, right? So Andy, my mate, I had him on. He sent me this book, so I'm reading this book right here. So you guys should go purchase it from Andy and help him out. Yeah, proper book right there. But other than that, yeah, it's road racing books for me, man. John McGinnis, Michael Rudder, all that good stuff. Ian Hutchison. I mean, I got, dude, all of Guy Martin's books. He's somebody I always wanted to meet, is Guy Martin, and one day I'll meet him. One day I'll meet Guy Martin. Let me ask you this: your favorite comedian?
Probably Kevin Bridges.
Yeah, he's funny. He's absolutely funny. Let me ask you this: celebrity crush?
I think when I was younger, I used to have a crush on Megan Fox when I was younger.
I mean, she's still hot, right? I mean, let's just be honest, she's still hot, right? And Clint, dude, yes, Clint, absolutely. Clint says amazing to be part of the R&D racing family this year. Yeah, it's I can't say nothing. R&D and Peter and all them are simply the best people you ever meet. Proper mega people, and what they do for the sport, and such as yourself having up and coming legends like you is amazing. To me, you guys know, if you ever listen to it, Keo, if you go back and listen to my podcast from the very first time I had Jake Marsh on, I'm Jake Marsh, RD Racing, Club 45, which I'll come to. Do you have a club?
Yeah, I've got a Club 81.
Club 81. So listen, guys, what are you doing? Get off of this right now and go join Club 81. Absolutely. But I'll give you a chance here in a minute to give all your shouts out and tell everybody how they can find you. Let me ask you this: what advice would you give your younger self?
Probably just don't argue with my dad at racing. Just listen to what he's trying to tell you. How to ride faster.
Right. Yeah. Well, one day when you have a child, you'll totally understand, because I didn't understand it and I thought I knew everything. And once I had a kid, I quite often called my parents, say, "I'm sorry." They're like, "For what?" And I'm like, "Blah, blah, blah." They're like, "Oh, it's okay, but we told you so." Right. Yeah. Facts. That's a fact right there. Look, Clint said, "Finally." I love it, dude. Good stuff, man. So listen, we're approaching 45 minutes. I know it's late where you are. It's been an absolute honor to have you on. I got one more question before we get off here, and then I'll let you give all your shout outs, but I need you to stay on with me for like a minute once the podcast's in, okay? Let me ask you this, and I ask everybody this. What is after racing? What's life after racing, Keo?
Pretty much just go out with Jake and just go meet everyone else.
But okay, do you plan on do you have a certain job you're going to fall back on? Obviously, you said mechanical engineer, right?
Yeah, probably mechanical engineering or a joiner.
Nice. But would you like to still be fully involved in the paddock somehow?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like even being a mechanical engineer in like a race team or anything, just anything to do with racing, pretty much.
That's right, absolutely. And I'm gonna ask you one more question. Who's the most famous person you have in your telephone?
I don't actually know. I don't know if I've got much people.
Oh, you got somebody.
Probably.
Should have said your dad. Or Peter Marsh said me. That's what I was thinking too.
Probably my dad, because I don't even have Pete on my phone.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Well, listen, Keo, it's been an absolute honor to have you on this podcast. Before we get off here, give all your shout out, man. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media, where they can go join that club.
On my Instagram, it's Keo Walker Racing. Same for my Facebook. And I just want to say thanks to all my sponsors: Coco She, Signco, GSG, Martin Way Electrical, Arena Gym, RD Racing, obviously, and Fine Ladder Foods. Just thanks for all the support for the whole year and over all the years of me racing.
I love it. I love it. So again, guys, what are you doing? Go join the club. If you have any issues finding them, just hit me up. I'll put you in direct contact and we'll get you signed up. He's an absolute proper legend, up and coming, along with Jake Marsh. And it's an honor to have you on this podcast. Can't wait for part 2. But yeah, so before we get off here, I got to give my shout outs. Big shout out to Bison. Don't buy an off the rack suit. Look up Bison. They're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that. Pendergast 2024. Get you 10% off of everything. The Clothing Kings. Big shout out to my man Martin at the Clothing Kings. You can go to theclothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pendergast merch, beanie hats, jackets, t-shirts, everything and anything you can think of. So thank you guys so much at the Clothing Kings. They are absolutely amazing. And you guys already know what I'm getting ready to say. Big shout out to RD Racing and my man Jake Marsh. Go and sign up for Club 45. You guys know the deal. Sign up for Keo's too. Dude, big shout out to SFL Mini GP, BSB Barmy Army. Have you met Shane yet from BSB Barmy Army?
Yeah, me and Jake we're speaking to him at Donington Park.
Yeah, he's proper, man. I can't wait to come out there and hang out with all you guys. It's going to be a lot of pints are going to be drunk. Well, maybe not you guys, but us for sure. Yeah, right. It's going to be a proper time. Tell your dad thank you so much. Thank you, Clit, so much for messaging me to make this happen. You're proper mega. Again, thank you guys for watching. If you have not yet, go to all my social media, go to YouTube and all that, like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And I appreciate everybody. It used to do a heart emoji, man. I did this big update. I had this update, and now, it won't do my heart emoji no more, but I can still do it like this. So it's still all good, right? But Keo, absolute legend. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you on the podcast, and can't wait for part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you guys stay tuned because more story is coming. We still have a whole lot to talk about and get into. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Clint, Lorraine, Marsha, Jimmy, of course, Peter, of course, my man Jake, so many, Debbie. Thank you guys so much. You guys are absolute. I try to give a shout out to everybody that I watch too, right? So Keo, smile. Yeah, there it is. Let's go. Good, man. You know I'm gonna be watching and cheering for you, right? So listen, guys, BSB, BritishSuperbikes.com. Go check them out. 3 weeks. Knock Hill Racing. It's a proper mega track. Knock Hill is an awesome track. So you guys stay tuned. And for part 2, Peter Marsh, absolute legend, right? Until next time, I will see you guys soon. And for those that are be going to Road America this weekend coming up, yours truly will be there. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys. Until then, peace. I don't know why I just did